new members and to the old members that have found their way back to the community. I need you just as much as you need me. In this evening's update, or this evening's live, I should say, we have several different things to look at. First is the fact that I think there's been a lot of false, maybe a lot of false bravado here within the XRP community. We have not broken down yet for XRP, not even by a long shot. To have the understanding that even if XRP had a massive drop here to 50 cents, we're still within the handle formation. So I think there's been a lot of overzealous selling. I think there's been a lot of over analyzing here of XRP. But I think a lot of the crowd needs to understand XRP is the most bullish it's been for a long time here. For a long time. And it would have to do many different things to break down this feeling. Yes, we can show the ultimate what happens if we did break down out of a bullish cup and handle. Because to me, whenever you build that handle on a cup, it's bullish until you see otherwise. So yeah, we'll always look at what can happen. That's just so we could have a plan in place just in case you start breaking numbers like 50 cents and you start losing some major supports and see where maybe you can redraft up, or you can start to continue pushing your position in a better way. Maybe you don't have as many XRP as you want, so you at least have that understanding that you could have some money on the sidelines. So if something catastrophic did happen, you'd be in the game. Now, as far as a holder goes, there is no reason to sell when we're still in the handle. For anybody who sells in the handle, even if it were to drop to 50 cents, there's simply no way to tell if it's going to go all the way to 50 or not. There's supports down in between at 55. We've got a very key one on a pattern formation that we've broken out of in the short term. As we know, we're back testing it right now. That support's all the way down at 59.7. But to sell out inside of a bullish cup and handle, that's, to me, if you've waited this entire time for that cup to form since 2022, waited for that, then that was March of 2022. Then you went into the actual cup, and it took from March of 2022 until July of 2023, when XRP was ruled not a security to retail. We had that big pump of 94%. Now, since July of 2023, we've been forming the handle. And for anybody who doesn't know, let me just show you this instead of just speaking as I'm getting through this intro. A very, very bullish handle has been formed already. Yes, I have it in 2 layers with that green on the top, but that's just so I can show everybody. If you get over this first layer, this yellow, that's basically this right here. If you get over this first area, this downturning resistance in yellow, that opens up the door for an 18% rally now up to the top here. And then you would have to try to break out. And that technical target, if we break bullish out of this handle, and this plays out like it should, 85% of the time, these patterns play bullish, which means out of 100 times, hell, why stop there? Out of 1,000 times, 850 times, this will play out the way we want. But understanding with the 15% chance, the more times this pattern plays through and all these other ways, the more times you play this out and generate it, there is a chance. So out of 1,000 times, 150 times, this will break bearish because the pressure built up wasn't sustainable. And then we just don't have the buyers and we have to go back to a demand zone. And in this case, if we had a full-on breakdown, it seems to suggest, and I pulled it out here because I believe if you had a full-out breakdown, it's going to take some work. But if we had a full-on breakdown, if you do it by July, that's around 4 cents. Oh, it can never happen. It's not that it can never happen. I just don't anticipate that to happen. But just because we don't anticipate it, it still doesn't mean we don't look at it. So that's just, oh my God, what if things did break down and we didn't have the pressure built up for a reason and then we just collapse? But as it is, we've got a much larger cup that's already formed right here and the handle's on. All we're trying to do is break between this first tier resistance, because anytime you're under this downtrending resistance in yellow, if you're new especially, I'm going over this again. If you're not, then you've already seen this, but you should still watch it. 63, this is approximately right here. 63.3 cents, 63 cents on the support side, but I like 63.3 on the over flip on the top because the rising channel resistance, when you take all the evidence we have, it flips us, we'll go over all that, but it flips you right into that spot as far as the resistance is concerned. But as long as you get over this yellow line, you now open up the door for the top end of this bullish handle resistance. This is your last step before a massive breakout. If you can get over that, the technical target of this, regardless of the fact we still need to get over that 82 cents from November of 21, that formation, The point here is if you get over this, you're over the not just the rising channel resistance, but you're over the entire pattern formation from when we finally went to all-time highs, and now we've been consolidating for 77 months. The fact if you could get out of this, it just changes the entire game. It changes everything, because then you talk about the technical targets breaking up. It doesn't just stop at $1.20. That's the technical target of the short-term cup and handle we're in. The 77-month consolidation, that technically tells you go to $1.97, which means if we break up, it's not just going to stop at $1.20. I can almost guarantee that. That's the enormity of this moment we're in right now for XRP. And then if you look at it from a longer scale, if we did go to $1.97, I always show everybody what can be if it goes down as well. But how about we take a moment here and see what could be if this breaks up in those two steps? Is this not the biggest W you've ever seen formed on a chart? I mean, let's be honest here. This is the craziest. And the more I look at this, look how many people are going to be gone before this happens. And we know XRP moves fast. And are we not showing this in smaller little segments here? We often imitate the larger pattern that's going to play out in shorter time frames, in shorter rotations, in shorter time periods. So my question to you, is this a precursor here as I'm going through the intro of what's to come? Because once you get to $1.21 and hold, we all know what comes after that. But once you get past all of this, we all know what comes. I mean, it's unbelievable where we could be going here. And then we speculate, this next layer up here is the next cup, and that's what I'm saying. We have a bunch of cups here that are forming on the way to getting up to the ultimate cup. So now if you come up here, now you could say, oh, well, now we have a cup. Then you got to put a handle here, and maybe we come down here, and then you come up here, and then you put the, and that's how we do it. I mean, look how this could potentially break out. And as far as the fundamentals look, as far as everything appears, as far as now everybody thinking XRP is a pile of shit again, I've not felt this bullish in a long time. Now that the public perception has shifted again after that move up, I feel great. The only thing that ever kept me worried is that so many people were saying it was the right time to buy. Now that every channel is starting to say that XRP is going to have a big retracement, oh, bring it on. That's all I need to see. It's almost like we have the inverse ETF for YouTubers. If they say it's going to do one thing, we automatically know to go the other way. So fortunately, we often do the opposite of what everybody else says. Well, that's how I make my living. And with my own trading, that's how we do it. Because when everybody says one thing's going to happen, it's like they said back in the day. If your shoe shiner can tell you when to buy the stock, something bad's going to happen. You better get the hell out. That's the truth. So pay attention to that reality with XRP. It's crazy when you actually look at it from a true perspective. If you are watching, please make sure to hit that like button so YouTube will recommend this live. I think it's very important. And we're going to go over another thing because everybody asked me, is it important enough to switch from Uphold to BITUNIX? It's not that it's important enough because you don't necessarily have to switch. But just for an example here, I'm going to do this in 10 seconds. And in the video description below, I don't even know if I put it there. Did I put anything in the video description? Okay, so I'll put it in the video description below. But if you're trying to buy XRP, if you're trying to trade in the USA and you're like, I can't find it, I'm going to give you more than a reason just to use BITUNIX. I'm going to give you another one right now because I was showing Julie before the live and it's pretty crazy, the differential. So if you don't have a ton of money to spend even, whoops, that's not what I want. But if you're looking to trade and you're not trying to lose XRP when you're making the trade, I'm telling you, there's something to be said for what I was looking at here. This is the one you want. Otherwise, it's not going to do you any good. You're not going to be able to get where you want. I was looking to see the differential when I bought XRP if I wanted to do it on Uphold. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't know it was this big of a difference, even on today when there's not a lot of movement. But if I go to buy XRP right now, if I do $1,000 worth, just $1,000 I'll just do, I get, and remember this, 1,560 XRP right now. If I go to BITUNIX for that same $1,000, I get 1,607 XRP right now. That's 51 XRP more I get with the same money. So 51 XRP, if everybody wants to know the honest fee with Uphold, 51 times 0.622. That cost me $31.72 extra to buy that same 1,000 XRP on Uphold just now if I was going to do it. I think it's about time we start saving that money in our pocket and stop supporting the ones who are trying to bend us over the barrel and just take our money off the top. Like at one point, I thought it was okay for Uphold to do that. I'll admit it, because they didn't have staking and they didn't have all these shit tokens. Let's just be honest. They stayed away from all that. But recently, they've added every single garbage token you could think of. And they've added staking. They had to take it away from the USA because obviously it wasn't going to work. So now it's like the liquidity thing becomes an issue for me. And the reason that they come on and off so often and high times of volatility, it just, to me, I'm not doing it no more. So in the video description below and pinned comments, that's BITUNIX. That's the reason I started using it, because of that. You don't need a VPN in the USA. The fees are ridiculously cheaper. It's the lowest spot and leverage trading fees in the USA. And if you are across the pond and you can take advantage of MEXC, take advantage of that as well. I'm not just shilling out BITUNIX because it does anything. For me personally, as far as like, hey, you have to go here and for some reason, that's the only reason. MEXC, I would still say if you can use it, there is no spot fees right now. You just can't use it in the USA. And that's also in the pinned comments. But I'm trying to figure it out in a way. I'm tired of getting bent over. So good evening. 6:29 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Saturday, March 23rd, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So I'm just going at it today with the XRP chart. And we're going to look at Bitcoin as well. But Bitcoin still needs to come back over 66,666. Albert says, Bitcoin is worth using. I am winning just buying, how Tom is explaining. Thank you so much for that. And doesn't it allow you to also swing trade again? So you don't have to just leverage trade. Now I have $3,000 I've built up on there, transferring from sales from Uphold as well, and sending over with XRP and doing what I need to do. I've been able to now, if I want to swing trade, if I want to make a $3,000 trade, I can't have it cost me 120 in, 120 out. If they want to charge me 10 bucks in, 10 bucks out, so be it. That's 20 bucks. But you can't charge me 240 bucks to make that swing trade. It's not worth it. So I found myself never swing trading anymore on Uphold. And now it's starting to open up my eyes again that you don't need to leverage trade, obviously. And if you build the funds up properly, you should not have a reason to where you're getting penalized for trying to swing trade on a fee. So anyhow, let me get to the comments. But it is bothersome to me that so many people are still getting taken advantage of. You know, it's a different time here in 24 than it was 21. Mark Caston, welcome in. Good evening to you, sir, and thank you for tuning in. Vanish TN, welcome. Mosey here, welcome in, and I really appreciate you being in Tom's Army for 3 months with the XRP Meteor. Good evening to you. Please, everyone, hit the like button to support the channel. Yes, indeed. Show me the respect I show you, but I also understand that, you know, sometimes my respect to you needs to be, it's going to take a minute for everybody to hit that like button, even if they want to. It takes some people a minute to get in and get situated. Some people are driving the car and at work, so they don't have the luxury. So sometimes, you know, I can't be so disrespectful to hit that like button. You know, in time, if you have the ability, please hit the like button. But it's not demanded. Let's not act like it's demanded. Joshua, welcome in, and thank you for being in Tom's Army along with Matt Holden for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. Which one? Joshua. What you used to say. Oh, yeah, Joshua says, and I used to do this intro for anybody new. Good evening, XRP Future Millionaire with the side bet on XM and Future Digibyte OG. And I would still do it, but it's too long. And nobody could figure out how to get to my station because they tell people, because that was my name of my station, exactly how he put it. And exactly how I said it. XRP with all that behind it. So I appreciate that blast from the past, Joshua. And thank you and Matt Holden for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. CEO of Greenheart Investment Fund, Mark Smith and Will Robb, thank you, all 3 of you, for being in Tom's Army for 1 month. And I know it's true because you've got the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Oh, it's true. That's my face superimposed on there. So I thank you 3 for that. Marvin, welcome in with John Page, Messi, Mario Luis Williamies, welcome in. Trading with J-Ride, thank you so much. He says, hit that like button, and yes, indeed. And thank you for being part of Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon Badge. Much love for that, my friend. I really appreciate that. Mandoline, thank you so much for the $5 donation. The XRP God Candle will be the event of all events. Salute time. I believe it will be. We don't know when it's going to come, but at some point, I'm telling you, there's too many people to be made whole. Where there's gaps to be filled down, there's also those gaps to be filled up, and they're massive. So eventually, it's going to happen. But like I say, for the ones who don't have the mentality, if you only own XRP and nothing else to watch the rest of the market run, do what we all do here. Build up over time into different assets within the crypto sphere with the ISO and IoT. And then if you've got a different sector like the gaming tokens, you know, I put a couple up here for people to look at just so they could see with Gala and WaxP and just one of the ones that are for the gaming convention. And Gala's up 17% today, but I'm also very interested in this XRPH. I've been buying it from 1.9 to 2.2 to 2.4, back to 2.1. I've got 20,800 shares now. Just under 500 of my own money in it right now, but I'm going to keep investing in it daily until it starts to actually do something. And I only say that because on the monthly right now, and we're going to get into all that. We'll get into that later. We got too much to talk about until then. Martin, Joe, welcome in. JW, welcome in. And thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Appreciate the continued support, my friend. Will, Robin, Mark, thanks for being in Tom's Army for one. Oh, I already said that for both of you for the emoji badge and me being abducted by aliens. But I really need to get started here. Let's see. Dr. Pat, welcome in. Why Crypto? John Page, welcome in. Don't underestimate the sleeping giant, the depth of its use case. Ripple are playing the long game. Yes, they are. Albert, Larry, welcome in. Michael Vostaz, welcome in. Thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Line Phantom, welcome in. Tom, I don't have legs or arms. I'm unable to hit the like button. I'm kidding. Well, you know, that's a plausible possibility as well. You know, you never know. So I can't possibly know what everybody's going through. So it does help more than you could ever imagine by hitting that like button. But I think sometimes I'm a little unfair because even if you don't hit the like button, it doesn't mean you don't respect me. It just means there's a reason why. Joshua gave $4.99 donation. Look at that, Julius, because of you. For the intro and Julie mentioning it. Thank you so much, Julie.
If they could get the sunny day so I want a picture of the sun. Maybe later.
Okay, everybody. I know if you're new, I'm going to look like a real jack-off right now. But for everybody who's been around for a while, and by suggestion, and I haven't done it in a while, but we're going to do it live. Because everybody's feeling dark and gloomy, and we do believe better days are upon us. And when do we usually do sunny days? We usually do sunny days when we feel like we're about to have a moment. But when everybody feels like nothing better can happen. We've been doing this since 2021 as my anniversaries, and 1 week from today, 1 week from today is my 3-year anniversary, and I'm proud to say I've never missed a day here on YouTube. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the sunny days are here again. Oh, sunny days. Oh, what a day. Oh, sunny days. Oh, what a day. I wear glasses 'cause I can't see a motherfucking thing. Happy days, oh happy days, oh what a day, oh happy days, oh what a day. XRP will reign supreme. Let's just not get caught in the FUD. Oh, we're gonna crash and we did and we will and we won't and we might and they don't know what the hell's going on anymore. Oh no, oh yeah, stay true, stay blessed. Man, he's evolved a lot over the years. Look at that guy. He's even got a heart in his hand for XRP. XRP, please no more FUD is what he's saying, please. It's so much awesomer. It's so much funner. I should say not awesomer. I don't even know what word that is. It's so much funner doing this in front of 21,000 people and not 500. I'll be honest. Imagine when we get the plaque for 100,000 subscribers and we're singing Sunny Days.
It just gets better.
So it gets better with time, right? Uh, John says, Tom, don't give up your day job. Don't worry, I won't. I'm going to stay on the charts, I promise. And at the end, if you stay tuned, I'll play the Sunny Days song that somebody took from me just doing this. And I'll play it for you. I actually have a song that somebody made. I kid you not. So I'll play it at the very end before we leave. I'm glad everybody stuck around, though. Light Switch Tom, JM, thank you so much for both being part of Tom's Army for 2 months with the Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News. That's a guy who knows well about me. Kyle Kupiak, welcome in and thank you for being in Tom's Army as well. Yes, sunny days indeed. We got through it. And welcome in, my friend. A-Train says smash that like button for Tom. Yes, indeed. Tom doesn't lose his voice asking us at the like button. Exactly. Exactly. Julie Arwine, thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the 589 badge and the sun. The sun takes over the chat. Yeah, I did. I made Julie laugh so hard she cried. Well, Rob, thank you so much for being in Tom's Army for over 1 month with the emoji badge and me being abducted by aliens. Yes, Sirree Bob, or should I say Sirree Rob. That's my face superimposed on there. And thank you for the $9.99 donation. Also, Larry Sanders, thank you so much for the $4.99 donation. He says, that was great. Love the song. Thank you, Larry, for that. And the third donation you sent during the YouTube lives during your time watching. So let's get into this. Thank you all so much. Let's get into this. So we're going to get back into real time. So thank you all so much for the blessings with, yeah, we lost like 20 people while we were singing the song. But, you know, if you're not with it, do we really deserve to share all this information amongst each other? I think we're a special group here. So XRP is up 2.09% right now. And the cool thing about XRP is my water turned to ice because I left it in the freezer too long. Yes, you did. The cool thing and the bad thing about XRP, I suppose, is right now we sit below this resistance right now. So we're looking for a breakout past this resistance at 60. We need to get above this handle resistance. Now, why I keep saying we are still very much bullish even in the short term, it's this pattern. It's this pattern, and that is not a long leg doji right now. To me right now, this is disguised as a bearish candle. But if I'm looking at this, I think there's a little more top-end momentum here than there is to the middle. So as of right now, I would say this is probably, and it's hard to say, but I could make the argument that this is a Dragonfly Doji if we pull up just a little bit here before the close. John says, I think I weed a bit late. Hey, sometimes you got to keep it, you know, you got to keep it fun. I never claimed that I only claimed I had integrity. I didn't say I cared about making myself look like an asshole. Excuse my French. But I think if you can be yourself, you know, it just flows. And that's why I love doing what I do. You're not going to see anybody else give you technical analysis singing Sunny Days. I can assure you of that. They might promote the Algo Sniper, and I know some of you are laughing because I know your favorite influencers want you to buy that junk. But after all, it's an AI trading thing. See, that's what I would do if I was sponsoring the show. I'd have to do that 71 times a day. Anyhow, right now we've got this inverted W pattern, it looks like. Like we've got a little bit of a W reversal trying to form here on the fly. And the fact that we're doing it on the outside of this formation is very bullish. It's very bullish. And if we can backtest like we have and break out, the technical target out of this right now is 75 cents. And like if we ask ourselves, what's the importance if we were to break up here? It's very important. It's very important because then you can start talking about these other formations with the cup and handle. If you were to break up to 75 cents, do we understand the significance of this? Where would we be at? That would put us firmly, boom, back test right here. And what happens if you hold that back test? That's the ultimate. Your technical target out of this cup and handle is up at about $1.21. In today's terms, if we do it in the next month or two, like that's a crazy, crazy rally we could have. Whoops, son of a bitch. I just deleted my arrow. Fortunately, I know where it's going because it comes from here and it has to go right to here. But still, I didn't want to delete it. It's supposed to be green too, so I'm going to change this back. But that's the possibilities here. I'm real talk. And then if you get on top of here, that's when the fun starts. That's when the fun starts. Because and JM, thank you so much for the $1.99 donation. I'll read what it said in a minute. I just happened to catch that going across. If this were to break up and you're doing this, that's technically your target's coming up to here. Like, to understand what all of this means in potential, and then if you look at the entirety of the pattern, I mean, I'm just going to continue to show this a little bit every time I go live or in my updates. Do we realize the biggest W of all times could form here? And that's coming up to the $1.97. Now imagine you make that. I mean, look how this would look. This is craziness. Something's forming here. Ba-bam. Ba-bam. That's not by accident. And I think a lot of this BS that's going around in the narrative, I think it's just that. I think we're being pushed off right now, right when we're getting to more of a solution for the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit. And think about it. With all these tokens that have been sold, it's estimated that the settlement, if they were going to take one, is not going to be, Ripple refuses to pay any more for a settlement than they've already paid in court costs. And that's just what's been said. So if you look at it that way, if they have to sell 200 million, let's just say, or 2 million, I mean, it depends where you look, but they've spent hundreds of millions of dollars fighting this right now. So if you look at that, is that a reason why Ripple is selling out of some of their XRP so they can have collateral to pay a settlement? I don't think, for me personally, a settlement gets the job done. Unless the settlement is just for misappropriating how they sold to institutional investors while this was still going on. That is the only way I could see them doing any kind of settlement, so that then they could push past the institutional investor BS, and then they could come to a final resolution. That's the only way. But I don't see a settlement in admitting guilt in any way, like to retail or programmatic or anything like that. I just think the only thing that they could try to slam with and then try to stick with and maybe have some kind of deal is that they let them off more lenient on that institutional side, because XRP or Ripple or Brad Garlinghouse, Chris Larson's and the bunch, they didn't have good reporting or good, let's just say good keeping. It's for singing lessons. Oh, I bet it is. Oh, I'm not a good singer. You would not hear this voice anywhere else singing anything. But if I used, some of the modern day equipment, I'm sure I could make myself sound good. But anyhow, let's continue on here. So I think we're working towards something big here. I really do. But let's just, for the short term, and I know it's Saturday, but I still wanted to come live here for at least an hour. At least an hour. Because I don't care if it's Monday through Sunday. Crypto doesn't sleep, so we can't either. But if we look at this in the weekly, we still have to understand that could be a weekly reversal. In the monthly, though, I mean, if I'm being honest with myself, in the monthly, I don't know, that doesn't look bad. Let's move this so everybody can see. Does that look bad to anybody? I don't think so. I don't think so. Doesn't that look like an inverted hammer in the monthly? For anybody in the audience who understands what that means, is that an inverted hammer we're looking there in the monthly? Just out of curiosity. Because I just want everybody to see the importance of not just looking at it for one day, but looking at this for the entirety. And I think I just took away. What did I just do here? I took away the short term. Hold on, I got to switch this into a smaller time frame. I accidentally took this off. Hold on. Because we got to have this up here after all so we can see what's transpiring here. Sometimes when you redo something, it really does give you a better estimate. Although it did come through here first, so I understand why I did that. Nah, we have to do it like that. We can't just pop out to another wick just because it's already finishing. However, nobody says we can't make it an extension zone. I know some people like when I do this. Because it would have been right here. And then you can clearly see what's going on here if you take it from the top wick. But then you can't even do that, though, because you've already built that pattern based on the earlier wick. But it does show you from a slightly different perspective here if you're looking for an overextended area based on more recent information. This is how we can see where the true support needs to be held. This is what's going on here. I can almost guarantee that's why it backed up here if it's going to hold this level. Because if you start to build what it gives you, you can definitely see. And now we're getting more of a flat resistance right here. It's a little bit down, but not much if you were to come through that next area. So but what I'm looking at here, just pay attention to this. As long as we hold the outside of this area, this should confirm a pattern reversal. It's just you don't want to come way down here and then fall through because then you end up sliding down. Right now, we've got to build off of what looks like a massive W reversal here. And it's harder to see unless you look at it in a certain perspective like this. But the one thing we obviously don't like is it's red right now. But is that disguised as almost like a long leg doji, even though we've got an hour and 12 minutes. And if this just pulls up a little bit and turns green, and I don't mean a lot because you don't want to break the recent high. You want it to kind of stay the way it looks, but push more and squeeze to the top a little bit more. I dare say that might be setting up as a very dangerous and very sneaky Dragonfly Doji candle there. Although it's so hard to say in that scenario. But I still think it's looking more bullish than bearish. Yeah, although, even if you look at it in the daily time frame, we obviously have to pay attention to this. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. But if it breaks up, that invalidates this. If it comes up to the top, it'll invalidate this if it gets on top of 75. So that's what we're looking at right now. We're absolutely looking for this right now. Whoops. But that technical target here, let me draw it back, and I'll show everybody how to do it too. But that's just, I only put that overextension in there only because of what it's showing us right now. That's what it's giving us this pattern right now. And this uptrend, I'm not willing to take it from any closer. I think it's telling us this for a reason. But then obviously we can make the accommodation here and say, like, this came through right here. So if it does come on through here and it needs to hit the uptrend again, maybe if it hits it again, maybe it does come down to 56. But we're trying to get this from every angle here. But understand that this is bullish right now. Even if it breaks to 50 cents, I want everybody to repeat that to themselves. As long as this breaks over 50 cents or stays over 50 cents on this bullish handle, and it's bullish until it breaks down. A cup and handle pattern is bullish unless it were to break down. And then if that handle breaks down, look out below. But I mean, that's what we're looking at here. If we can just break out of where we're at in the short term, on the formation that we're holding that I just showed you, the technical target, oh yeah, I got to drop back in, but the technical target, it's a nice one. And even if you are conservative with this, which I was, I just said, well, we had a resistance here. We know that this uptrend was here, but I'm not even going to go all the way down there. We're just going to come down to this part even right here, even though it filled it all the way out. But it's almost like you have to stretch this across if you're going to do it like that. But I gave it the benefit of the doubt and didn't even go up as high. Well, see, I have this trading view for you right here. It's because I use a touchscreen instead of a mouse pad on my tablet, so it makes it interesting. So I went generous there just on that uptrend. And when you look at this, even from where it's breaking out, you're talking about getting into that range. You're getting into that area. It's actually, the way we had it was like this. But the target was 75.72 breaking out of the spot with the way we had it measured. And that's being generous. Like, we're not even saying it's going to go up all the way to 82. But a bounce off of here with that consolidation, it leaves a lot to be desired. And then we've already talked about in this entire live, the top end potential. We've talked about why. And you know what? If I'm going to do that, why waste that? We already know that formation. Why waste it? This is where we're actually attempting to come out. So if we want to talk about maybe the overextended area that we're starting to form that we need to hold, that's your downtrending resistance. That's what's keeping us from breaking out right now. First time we hit it, second time we hit it. Now can we finally push over is the question. This is where it's going to happen. Are we going to push over? And then you can see like how we're trying to say that we could have some kind of reversal. Well, if that's the case, this pattern needs to break out from here. That's what I'm saying. As you go through this, the more consolidation, you don't want to come back down. The more you consolidate like this, now you got to start breaking out of this formation. Now I got to get out of here. And you've got to make this bounce down here. The ultimate bounce down. It was somewhere in this range. You got to make that the bounce down. Otherwise, if you fall through this, we've already setting ourselves up. We're going to come right here. So if it breaks bearish, more than likely, if you lose this little uptrend that we've started, you're going to find yourself falling better than 7% just to come and try to retouch this support area. So we could do ourselves a huge favor on a thinly traded weekend. And look at this. I've said all of this to get to this one point, and then we can continue on. If we look at this from a longer out, is this not possible? Is it not possible that, well, let me go to Bitcoin first because I don't want to misrepresent it until we look at Bitcoin so you can see. I was going to say, is it not possible that we're on the cusp of a major breakout? But if you don't understand what Bitcoin's on the cusp of potentially doing, it would be impossible for you to understand. So when Bitcoin came down like this, Bitcoin breaks out of here. That's an inverted head and shoulders that form very quickly. That's also known as a bottoming pattern. And the fact that the right side was able to hold up as it is, if it were to break from here, it could suggest a bottoming pattern. The fact we did, let me pull this back out. The fact that we came down, created the inversion, this could be the right. Once it does that, then we'd be like, well, how did we not see this? Unless it invalidates this and pushes down, which that's what it would do. If it comes down, I don't see any reason why it wouldn't retest the broadening wedge breakout as support. But unless that happens, this could very sneakily be pulling up an inversion, an inverted head and shoulders here. We've bounced off the 200-day in both areas. It did not create a lower low. So it created a left shoulder, head, higher low from the head. That's bullish if it continues. And then that would be the epitome of an inverted head and shoulders pattern. I mean, it's right there if it forms. We just don't know if it's a trap, if this is something to trick the technical trader to maybe take a leverage out, or what the case is. But if that plays true, that is there. Even if it doesn't play out, it's still there. The potential is there. So I would love to know what the audience thinks. Is that an inverted head and shoulders just looming to play? We've already filled out. Let me make it very clear. We had a technical drop target that we've already hit the technical point. Once this rising channel broke, technically when a rising channel, when it breaks, you start from the bottom. You come all the way back to the bottom. So, and I called it a rising channel. You could have even made it tighter. But it came down, came all the way back down to where it started. Well, the technical target here as well, just measuring the width of that, suggested that we had to come down to 60,600. We filled that. Now, from the formation that filled that I took off, the technical target on a move up was the retest somewhere up here around 73,370, 73,400. And we argued, or not argued, but we theorized if this is the case, it makes perfect sense because if you come up here, yes, there's a small M topping reversal right here, but we speculated that with such a big growth, that probably isn't going to be the M if it's a massive M, and you probably have something like that. Like you would build that actual M topping reversal, and then we could build the massive handle if and when we need to do it, and then if it is going to continue, it could happen. But I find it hard to believe that you wouldn't have something like that first. It just seems too perfect. It came down to what could be a beautiful neckline now if it just pushes back up. It really could. Think about it. That could be a perfect neckline. I mean, does anybody else see it? Now, the obvious is if it doesn't play out. Got a 4-hour reversal candle here possibly. If it plays out to the downside, well, we know what's happening. If we come down and Bitcoin plays down, I don't think it's very difficult to see. It's coming down here to retest at least. That would be the first area. It's coming down to 56K likely. And it's going to retest that broadening wedge resistance as support for the first time. As we know, we had resistance 3 times before we managed to go through resistance 1, resistance 2, resistance 3. Now it could be support 1. So, a lot of stuff to look at here. Do we fall bearish? Does this pattern play out bullish? Or do we have to consolidate down and retest the bullish handle around 50 cents? Vincent says, you sound like Al Pacino and Scarface. I'll take it. I can totally hear that in my voice, especially when it's going a little bit. But I mean, I'll take that comparison. I've been I've been compared to um why can't I think of the guy's name from Breaking Bad? I can just think of Hale now from Malcolm in the Middle, but been compared to him a lot. I was compared to the dude from Desperate Housewives, Carlos. So that was in my 20s. The girls used to say that about me when I was, yes, Walter White. That's the reason when everybody says I'm like Walter White. Except it ruins it kind of when they see my hair, because I haven't cut my hair since last July. I promised my audience I wouldn't cut it till XRP hit $1, and now it's been like 9 months. True, welcome in, my friend. Glad to see you in here, as always. Long-time viewer. So that's what I've got right now for the charts. That's for the charts. We've got the only other couple things I want to look at chart-wise is XRP as far as the market cap, which we're bouncing off of a beautiful support as of right now. If we bounce off of this, and you can see the inversion now, that's the other thing I forgot to talk about. Remember the Bitcoin inversion? Now, if you look at it from that aspect, if you look at XRP, if it were to pull up, is this also got something building here? You can clearly see a left shoulder, a head, down to this, and if it pulls out here, you could see, like, we'd be like, how did we not see this? Right? And you made a higher low, which could mean that this is a bottoming formation. The fact that right now from here to here we made a higher low could be the fact that this is the bottoming. It's what you're looking for a bottoming formation. Now, if it breaks down, obviously that's something else, and it's not bottoming, but this right now is trying to tease us a bottoming formation. Does everybody understand what I'm trying to say here? And right now, if we bounce off of this, the technical target is 38.9 billion right now for the market cap. Plenty of room for XRP to come to 75 if we play up. Plenty of room. But it's teasing a reversal on us right now. The only thing that's the problem right now, and it's good, the longer this extends out is good, because then you can break out, because we still have that left shoulder, head, right shoulder. So it could be teasing an inversion here, even though it's on the cusp of a bigger drop. So we always have to watch that until it plays true. Messi says big pump in 3 weeks. I mean, obviously, I think is what he's trying to say. And then we've got the XRP Bitcoin pairing. Up 0.31% to 962. But it's got a bull flag here. You've absolutely got a bull flag here on XRP when it has the pairing to the Bitcoin. And like I dare say, you're safe in doing it like that. You're very safe in doing something like that on the initial breakup. I mean, we're looking at a nice little move here if it breaks out. We really are. We haven't got over yet. But that first move's about 10%, but it's going to be like 18%. And it actually lines up beautifully with what we were talking about with the XRP chart. But then again, if this is a fake out and it plays down, it's like I always say, you have an opposite reaction, and it's not going to be a good one if it doesn't break up. This one, it might have a 5%, 5.7% consolidation. If that happens, we could see XRP around that 55 to 57 cent mark that we were seeing on a fail, but still a hold. You know, so it's pretty interesting here what we're seeing. And then before I get into this reading real quick, because there's just a price prediction for March 23rd, and I always like to see what others are saying in comparison to my own. And then there's this is interesting. Will Doge flip XRP as Elon Musk obtains X payment license? And as you know, I have exposure to Doge. We have 10,000, a little over 10,000 tokens that I sent to Julie's, her Robinhood or whatever she uses, because she was the one who got on board to that first. I sold it out for her on the Saturday Night Live debacle. I told her to just trust me and I'll buy it back at the right time. So she let me have that. Well, she allowed me to rebuy it. And I bought it back for at 5.5 cents and proceeded to send it over to her when I thought the time was right. And she's had it sitting in her account since about 9 cents now. So even she's been able to see a substantial gain. So we will talk about that as well. We'll read that. But I want to read this very quickly. If you are looking to trade XRP or your favorite crypto, look in the video description below. I showed an example on the difference between using Uphold, if you're on Uphold compared to BITUNIX, to buy $1,000 worth of XRP today. If we got a 51 XRP difference from buying it on BITUNIX to buying it on Uphold, which comes out to just over $37 in fees. And you lose 55x or 50, just over 50, roughly 50 XRP to make the same $1,000 purchase. So that's just, I was getting asked a lot if there's really a big difference, and there's a big difference. So just consider that. It's in the pinned comments below. Lowest spot and leverage trading fees in the USA. No VPN. They have XRP. It's never gone away. They have a trading license in the USA. And then if you have the ability to use MEXC, which in the pinned comments below, and it's important if you can, because not only do they not have spot fees going on right now, but it's across the pond. But I'm able to trade on it because I already had an account before they stopped accepting new US members. But they've got XRP healthcare. And I'm trying to find other exchanges that has it, that I trust. But right now, this is one that I've been using for a long time. But XRPH is the XRP healthcare. It's digitizing the pharmacies and the care. You know, we're going into a new era. It's a 100 million total circulating supply with the token. 54 million roughly are in circulation. But I have waited so long to talk about this. I've seen other YouTubers talk about it a long time ago, but they stopped talking about it now because it collapsed so much on them. But I waited to even buy it or bring it up until we had the first reversal candle in the monthly that I could see. And this is the first one that actually sustained itself. So I've been buying, I wish I would have got 1.7. But ever since I established that uptrend right here, I bought it from 1.9 up to 2.48, down to 1 or 2.1, then to 2.3, then to 2.2. So everywhere within this monthly candle, I am trying to buy this. And if it goes down, I'll just keep buying on a routine. Right now, I've got 20,800 tokens. And I'm going to continue to buy this. If the bottom falls out, it falls out. But this is kind of like one of my shot in the dark. It's on the XRP ledger. And I believe by 2031, this industry is going to explode. Every year from here on in. But by 2031, and that's not when this would materialize, but it's just going to be a different game. So I'm buying things that are leading into the new era. So that's a very small cap, micro cap, if you want to call it, token on the XRP ledger. And its main hub is XRP. So I think it's time we start to pay attention to some of the things that XRP offers. And that's one of them that I think gets overlooked, mainly because when it was being talked about, it's come down, like I said, it's come down a lot. It's come down a lot. So it's one thing to bring something up, but it's also another thing to have the right timing. If I would have bought it when somebody told me up here, I would never buy it again. I would never watch the person again because they brought it up to me without any basis. So 15 cents, let's just say, this is down. Even where it's at right now, better than 83%, 84%. So like, yeah, it's one thing to buy it when it's 84% down and start building down. It's another thing if I've been buying the dip all the way from there. So that's just something that I've been watching. I'm not a financial advisor, so you need to do your own research on it. But that's just something that's really piqued my interest. And I've watched a lot of them on the Stellar Network that are smaller, similar situations, similar charts, and then they end up expanding over the next 6-7 months. And I'm like, well, I should have took advantage of this. I own XLM. Why am I not buying stuff off of, you know, their version of the ledger, off of the Stellar Network? So XRP price prediction for March 23rd. Just little nuances I discover going through the charts each and every day. That's what piqued my interest. Once I seen the chart, I started to involve myself more in the project. I already knew about it, but I waited for the chart to sucker me in. And now that the chart suckered me in, now we got something building. Now, this is a projection for XRP, obviously. And that's why I thought I would share this. This is just a projection. So, XRP price prediction for March 23rd. So that's the projection if we continue bullish here in the short term. And you can see that's not a huge differential going forward. But that's just in time. We see how we increased. So the XRP price has increased by 4.6%. On the hourly, XRP is rising after a breakout of local resistance of 61.69 cents. If the daily bar closes around the current prices, one can expect a further upward move to 0.64 cent or 64 cents. So right now, as we've said, we're looking for a close. Right now, to me, above 615. They're showing that 6169 level, which is fine. That's perfect, actually. On the bigger time frame, one should pay attention to the candle closure in terms of yesterday's bar peak. If it happens above 65 cents, buyers may seize the initiative, which can lead to a test of the 66 to 68 cent zone soon. On the weekly chart, neither side is dominating, which means any ups or downs are unlikely to happen. Respectively, consolidation in the narrow range of 60 to 65 cents is the more likely scenario until the end of the month. XRP is trading at 63 cents at press time. So, with that being said, if that were to be the case, we know that we have the 1 billion escrow dump, obviously April 1st. Last month, they decided to lock up a big portion of it and only leave a couple hundred million out, and they did it early as well, too, at some point. So, we'll see what their plan is this month. And then I just want to read this real quick. Will Doge flip XRP as Elon Musk obtains X payment license? So, has anybody heard about that with Doge, the X payments license? So, X payments secured more licenses, fueling speculation that Doge's rally could be near. Unlike XRP, Doge could break out and extend toward 20 cents in the short term. Increased profit taking could send Doge back to 13 cents, while XRP might trade sideways. Doge could be on the verge of another rally after billionaire Elon Musk secured 3 more licenses for X Payments. For those unfamiliar, X Payments is the peer-to-peer payment department of X Corporation headed by Musk. According to a report from Yahoo Finance, the addition meant 22 states in the U.S. have approved. Musk has never hidden his love for Dogecoin as such. When he launched the X Payments handle a few months ago, many opined that the meme coin would be part of the payment option. Although Musk had not yet confirmed the integration, he once said he would love to add Doge to social media platforms. If things go as planned, Dogecoin market cap might rise higher than its current position. One project, the cryptocurrency might flip as Ripple XRP. At press time, Doge was number 8 on the market cap standings with 23.1 billion. XRP, on the other hand, was in 6th position with the market cap of 33.62 billion. For Doge to flip XRP, it needs to add another 10 billion in market cap. While this seems enormous, it might not be impossible considering their respective performance. At press time, Doge changed hands at 15 cents, representing a 91.5% increase in the last 30 days. For XRP, its price was 61 cents, a 13.13% hike within the same period. Beyond the price action, Ripple's challenges with the U.S. SEC have been hindering XRP from breaking out. If the lawsuit lingers, then Doge might climb above XRP this cycle. This month, Dogecoin has displayed a strong correlation with Bitcoin, but that has not been the situation with XRP, which decoupled from Bitcoin several times. That's not just us speculating the decoupling that's happening. That's something that's actually being noticed on a larger scale, and I'm surprised they even mentioned that. But it's something I mentioned again with that push to 63.3. On that day again, we seem to be switching up our movements, and that might be because when Bitcoin's done with its move, you know they like to take the profits from Bitcoin and Ethereum, and they like to push them into some of the cheaper tokens. And XRP is one historically that after Bitcoin tops, they throw a ton of money in there, knowing not one, that they can get it at a more stable price, but also how much it takes to move it so the bulls are more easily in control. I've always seen that as a very big correlation with XRP, with these runs. That's why it only took 9 days back in 21, and I don't think a lot of people realize this. Back in 2021 on our bear market rally of epic proportions, because we never went back to all-time highs, not even close, from 59 cents to $1.98, it took 9 days. You heard that right, it took 9 days. And our rally was over, never to be seen again. Never even to be close again. Because when we dropped, the highest we came back up was 175 on the right shoulder in the shorter time frame. From the 4-hour chart, Doge displayed strength as the 0.236 Fibonacci acted as its placeholder at 15 cents with the fib level at the same price as Doge. An extension might be likely. The resulting outcome from this trend could be a 27.92% increase. Should this breakout happen, the price of Doge might hit 20 cents. Furthermore, indications from the moving average convergence divergence, the MACD, buttressed the bullish thesis. And you can see that massive W reversal on Doge. It's massive. Absolutely enormous. And this is exactly what XRP should be doing in the same period. As of this writing, the MACD was positive, indicating increasing buying momentum. Should the momentum continue to climb, Doge might clear any overhead resistance and could hit a new yearly high in the process. However, traders might need to watch out for profit taking. If seller pressure increases, Doge's price might circle back to the 13-cent area. In XRP's case, a sideways movement might be next, considering how tight it has been trading. So, pretty interesting when you see some of the things that are taking place here. But again, Doge on the day, if we're just looking at it, still maintain a 7.8% rally.
He's shaking head to a video of a TV turning on.
The TV's turning on and off?
A video on his phone.
No, I'm saying he's watching a video. Where do you find? On YouTube?
Yes.
That guy is something else. He's a funny guy. He always goes to sleep by the end of my live, though, it seems like. But with Doge, as we can see, since I talked about it, I might as well show. I chart Doge all the time, so I'm waiting to see if this actually breaks out. If it breaks out, the technical target is about 25 cents here. But, you know, it's very early in the pattern. Very early in this pattern. But it's technically showing a breakout sign here. So, Julie, you might have some good news here for Doge again. If this pans out, it's going to... Man, it would be a cold day in hell if Doge passes XRP in market cap, wouldn't it? It sure would. But that's what's transpiring right now, ladies and gentlemen. If you got any further thoughts, I'd love to hear them. As I'm going to talk for a little bit longer, then I'm going to end this because it's Saturday. And I'll end it with sunny days for anybody who's here. Not me singing it. Well, it's technically me singing it. But somebody made a song of me singing my sunny days when I sang it clean one time. One time I sang it clean. It was pretty nice. So XLM. Ha ha wah wah. XRP will be $100, right? If you say so. I don't look at that kind of... I don't look at the facade. I'm looking at the short term and what I think can happen. Sure, if it gets to $10, once it gets to 10, one double up to 20. Right now, that's not even in the realm of possibility, friend. You're probably saying it as a joke, but just if you stick around for a little longer, you'll understand I don't do things the same as everybody else. So I don't make those price predictions like that. But $100, I don't know if it's going to be $100 right away. I don't. I think what we're really working on here for stability is to get to that all-time highs, then push that 5 to 10 the first time. Once it gets to $10 and it starts acting like kind of like a file coin or something like a theta, where it can move through those ranges and then come back down and do what it needs to do, but then continue on. That's what we're trying to aspire to be, a theta right now, or a file coin, something that can move between that $6 and $10 range easily, consistently, and then on a big burst, they can go into the $100. But it's the circulating supply. It's the circulating supply. So until the real utility is met, that circulating supply is always going to hinder us a little bit. Not that it's a bad thing. You've got 500, you said $500 or 500 tokens. I can't remember what you said. But, you know, look at that 350. And then look at this. This is one thing I want everybody to just, you can fantasize a little bit here at the end. Just pay attention to this. If this plays out true and this is for real, we've got the biggest W I've ever seen on a chart. And this isn't us making it up. This is actually what's transpired here. And then you can go into the smaller time frame that has a smaller cup and handle formed right now that would go up to a bigger cup after a mid-tier cup at 121. And then you would bring a cup and a handle at $1.97 to match Bitcoin. Well, then we know the technical target of a size that high would get us back towards our all-time highs. I mean, it would be unbelievable. Oh, yeah, back in the day, Blink-182 was my favorite band. Yep. I don't listen to music anymore, though. Like, I like to listen to, like, the 80s and 70s, the older music now. But when I was growing up, I definitely liked Blink-182. I liked The Day to Remember. I liked, like, Motion City Soundtrack, Newfound Glory. Green Day to an extent, but they were obviously competitors to Blink. Music today sucks, though. No offense to the younger generation, but I can't listen to it. My ears want to jump out of my... You know, when I actually listen to music now, my eardrums jump out. And I can't hear. So... Oh, my volume setting on the chart, I use the standard volume. I just take the standard volume on the technical, on the indicator. Nothing fancy, just a traditional volume. Just a traditional volume. But there were many others, like, if you talk about the older generation, I loved older music. Like, I liked Led Zeppelin a lot. Preferred Led Zeppelin over the Beatles, in fact. But I liked like Neil Diamond and Phil Collins and that generation. You know, I liked all the oldies. I really did. Much different time. You could feel the love in the music back then. Now it's just a bunch of Well, you know. A spade is a spade, Tom. It sure is. Let's see real quick. While I'm here still, XLM, we're still trying to get over, and this could be a bullish candle disguised as a bearish overtone. A lot of times when you see these, this is almost like a hammer candle. A lot of times when you see this, the only reason it's red is because of the area it's in. And the fact that it's like this after an inverted hammer, like, I mean, this almost looks like we're being set up in a bear trap with XLM. But XLM does need to break over 1346. And then we could ultimately push to this next level if we can break out of here finally. I'm seeing a lot of bullishness here as well. It's just the market makers like to have fun with us, especially on the weekends. So I'm cautiously optimistic that we're about to break out here. I know what's going to happen if we break down. We know the targets. We have a golden cross in the 1 hourly. Noise? What do you mean? What's noise? Oh, the noise in the background? What do you mean, like this thing on my thunderstorm behind me? Maybe that's what you're talking about. But even with Stellar, you can see this inversion we're seeing even on Bitcoin. We're seeing it everywhere. If this pulls up, we can see boom, 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 and out. These are bottoming patterns if this is true. If this higher low stays and doesn't get taken out, that's a huge signal here that we're bottoming. That higher low right there is everything. Does everybody understand what I'm trying to say? That higher low right here is everything. As long as this doesn't give way now, you would expect this to bounce out at some point. So if you hold 1 year, it's going to be over 1,000. I mean, I would love for that to happen. I just don't see it in 1 year. But I would love to see it. Oh, today's music. I don't know what volume I had it on. I don't know. It doesn't tell me the volume. It was pushed up. It was definitely up there for the volume. But I haven't had the volume on at all. I haven't had any music on yet. I only sang my song. But here's the song that somebody made of my sunny days of me singing it. I will go to the 3-minute chart before I leave. But I promise this. I don't want to forget this. Whoops, that's not it. What the hell is this? Where's my sunny days? I can't see because of all the comments.
I think he's talking about the volume setting on your chart.
Yeah, I know, but it's just the basic volume on the chart. But I was talking about that before. It's the very first one that it shows up. Very first one that shows up on TradingView when you go to the indicators is the one that I use. Oh, there it is. Sunny days. Sunny days. Here again. Sunny days. Here again. Sunny days. Here again. Sunny days. Here again. I wear glasses 'cause I'm so cool. I can predict the charts. Sunny days, here again. Sunny days, here again. Sunny days, here again. Sunny days. Join Tom's Army for $9.99 a month. I love that they put that into at the end. That was done in 2022. Somebody's like, you finally said it clean. I said it one time like that. So, but I mean, the eclipse, I don't know. I don't know how it's really going to affect the market. If it does it the way it should, we'll probably pump big. You know, if everything plays out like it should. But guys and gals, I got to go. It's the weekend. I want to go make sure everything's going good with the kids. We got everybody here tonight. I want to hang out with Julie a little bit. She wants to relax as well. I know that. But I also want to lend a helping hand. So thank everybody for watching. Thank you to all the members of Tom's Army. Make sure you subscribe and join the over 21,000 subscribers. And if you're looking to trade XRP, like we've been saying, if you want to take advantage so you don't pay the extraordinary fees, as I showed an example when we started, to buy $1,000 worth of XRP, you get 50 more on BITUNIX than on Uphold for the exact same amount of money, which comes out to about a $37 fee, I believe it said. 31 or 37. I think it was 31.74. So that's on the buy and sell. So there's 62 bucks right there. Just on $1,000. So even if you're swing trading, that means that I'm down 3.7%. I mean, that's crazy. That's a 3.7% fee. No, it's not. Never mind. 0.00 because it's on 1,000. No, that's right. Because on $1,031 is 3.1%. What am I talking about? That's a 3 point. Julie, they're charging me 3.1% on the buy and sell. That's 6. Oh my God. I don't even want to think about how much money I lost on Uphold. I don't even want to think about it. So we're going to end it right here. Thank you, everybody, for the support. That's in the video description below and our pinned comments for BITUNIX. Do yourself a favor. Stop paying the exchange all these fees. Please. It's the last thing I'm going to do now. It's
Veronica loves preppies comment.
Veronica loves preppies?
Yes.
Oh.
Preppy comments.
What is,
She said, banks already bought XRP. They're just waiting. When are they going to, when they're going to get the green light?
Oh, yeah, I seen that. First quarter of next year is what somebody was speculating about the banks.
Yeah.
I know the banks are going to do something, but working at the bank, so you should know the agreement. The banks and or financial institutions, can you validate this at least, or to your knowledge, they only have to do 50% though on the new framework. They can still do 50% of their transactions by extension, I believe until early 28, which means the bank's only got to do 50% of its transactions according to the new HTML. That's my understanding. So until you get to 28, you're not going to get the full flip. But you know what? That could be a way of distraction, just telling us that there's an agreement in place. I've seen the paperwork where they actually signed an extension and they gave banks and or financial institutions extra time. But it's pretty interesting to go down that road. But I got to go, everybody. Thank you so much for the information. We'll continue this tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, but I'll have updates in between there, obviously.